Hello, hello. What's cracking with y'all? It's your boy, K-Mac, the host of the Blitzburg Coverage Podcast, back here talking on a Wednesday, recapping a win from Sunday Night Football, week number 7. We saw the Pittsburgh Steelers win 37-15 over the New York Jets. Sunday night at home. What a game. What a game this was, man. Let's talk about it. First off, I want to say kudos to Mike Tomlin. First off, even though he's our coach, I definitely critique him a lot with some of the shit he does. And even a couple other people had questions about whether the move to Fields was the right move. I mean, the move to Russell Wilson was the right move. Ben, Terry B, even some of the coaches behind the scenes on the offensive coaching staff weren't on board with going to Russ. But, Tomlin was confident in that approach. And, he was right. He was right. Russell Wilson unlocked the passing offense that we needed. The spark that we needed, he unlocked it. And that allowed us to be able to run the ball more effectively, I would even say. So, I need to get that off my chest. I definitely was kind of questioning this move. And I'm going to say there were definitely times where Fields probably would have broke the pocket and run the ball. Potentially at times when the pocket kind of collapsed a little bit. But, Russell Wilson, not all in his, obviously he didn't have a magnificent game. But, he gave Pickens opportunities. He threw the ball to Darnell Washington quite a few times off of some play action. Ran a lot of play action Sunday night, which was good to see. That was something that has been non-existent in this offense for years, is play action. But the first quarter, first drive started off pretty solid. Ended with a field goal. Had some good Russ plays there with some Darnell Washington. I don't think Pickens had. Did he? I don't know if Pickens had any catches on that first drive, but we started the game out 3-0. The Jets come down, get a touchdown. Breece Hall with a 20-yard run, 3-7. Then the second quarter, I want to say, Russ started out like 1 for 1, and then at one point he was 1 for 7. And kind of some of the critiques I had as far as, what's Russell going to do when the pocket breaks down? How is he going to handle pressure? And he didn't really throw too well under pressure to start off the game. And he looked hesitant. He looked uncomfortable. He kind of looked like he just, but we all had to keep in mind that Russell Wilson hasn't played ball since last December. Now, unless you want to count preseason, that's a long time, man. So he really needed to get some of the cobwebs out. And he looked very hesitant up until he finally gave George Pickens a jump ball, a sky ball, whatever the fuck you want to call it, a rainbow, whatever, floater, whatever you want to call it. And once he did that and Pickens came down with it, you could kind of see, his arm was loose. He wasn't too worried. He looked like he just needed to open up a little bit and just, not play scared. And after he did that, that's when everything really started happening. And I understand the Jets were down multiple defensive backs, injuries, but everyone's down injuries. So, but yeah, at one point it was 15-6. The defense really wasn't playing too bad, I thought. There were just some broken plays, some missed tackles, I want to say, to start off the game, especially on that Breece Hall reception where he broke it for damn near 80 yards, almost a touchdown. I was like, dude, homeboy misses a tackle and knocks down 3 of our guys, and just some bad tackling. Also thought losing Dante Jackson to start out the game, he was in there early, but then he suffered an AC shoulder joint injury. I guess that's been kind of a lingering issue. Once he went down and we had James Pierre in there, I was kind of worried. And I was honestly, another thing I got to say, I was worried about Beanie Bishop being picked on a lot, and he knew it too. Coming to the game, he was going to be targeted, and that first interception was massive. First off, that really swung some momentum. Great play on the ball. Read Rodgers' eyes, turned around, got one hand on it, brought it in. A great snag, great play. Really a great play. And we needed that. And you could kind of see the momentum start to turn. Really, in that second quarter, you could see Russ and the offense start to get going. And I also thought that play ran a little PA boot to the left side. Russ with a very underrated low-key throw to Pat Freiermuth. Pressure right in his face. Throws a little sidearm. Quick throw. Freiermuth gets dang near 30 yards on a run after catch. That play was massive. The offense was awesome Sunday. You could really just see it, man. I mean, once it was 15-6, I think we scored 31 points straight unanswered. Especially after that second interception. Beanie Bishop had his second interception towards the end of the half. When it was 15-6, I want to say. And Garrett Wilson drops the ball. I think he was kind of scared. He heard footsteps. And he drops it. Ball's in the air. Batted up. And Beanie Bishop comes up with it. Almost runs it for a pick six. But Devontae Adams tracks him down at the 1 yard line. Next play, Russell Wilson sneak. And now it's a 15-13 ball game going to half. Things are looking good. And after that, man, we just took it to the Jets, man. We ran the ball pretty well. Najee, it took a minute to get going, but I thought that big 30-yard run he had was massive. Najee just gets better as the game goes on. The defense gets more tired. They don't want to tackle him. I thought he played a solid game Sunday. Back-to-back games of 100 yards plus and a touchdown. It was good to see Jaylen Warren get some nice plays in there. Whether it was running the ball, he had about 40 yards. And that third down late in the game to end the third quarter, that third down reception, third and long, was massive to be able to pick that up, keep the chains moving, keep the clock moving. And, I mean, you're talking George Pickens with that touchdown to take the lead was awesome. It was awesome to finally see this offense just be able to throw the ball. And that ultimately allowed us to be able to run the ball because they actually had to kind of fear the pass. And that was the difference between Fields and Russell Wilson. Fields, I feel like, was just, I don't know if they were telling him not to take deep shots or, maybe he was afraid or I'm not sure. But he never really threw any type of 50-50 balls that Russ could throw. Moon balls, that's what they're called. That's what they were calling them Sunday night, just a moon ball, like, put up in the air. If it's one-on-one with Pickens, give him a shot, give him a chance at least. And then you're talking another after Pickens had that crazy play where the ball gets batted up. The DB gets a hand on it. Pickens gets a hand on it. Then the ball's back up in the air. Then Pickens ends up coming up with the ball. Freiermuth then comes up with a one-hand, reach out and snag in front of him. A good throw. I thought it was a stride maybe ahead of Freiermuth, but a great play by him, bringing it with one hand. Awesome to see just the potential we have, man. Russ's first game back, we score 37. We get 2 takeaways. The defense played awesome the second half, just shut down Rodgers in that passing game. Really because Highsmith with some key pressures. Ogunjobi opened up the first drive on defense with a sack. I thought the referees sucked ass they sucked ass Sunday. They were against us as usual. Nothing. What else is new with that? Van Jefferson with the touchdown. It was just nice. It's crazy as we could have finished in the red zone more. We could have had 40 points this game. We don't kick some field goals early in the game. But that's fine. We still end up with 37 points, the most points we've scored in a long time. Back-to-back week with 30 points. I also want to say after the Jets' second touchdown, Minkah Fitzpatrick, that was not a flag, leveraging. He blocked the point after. Should have been a block. The Jets go for 2. They get it. They go up 15-6. Just want to keep that in there. Then the Jets eventually drive down, get into field goal range, and we block it again, man. That's another, last week against the Raiders, a block punt. Now a blocked field goal. We've had 9 blocks, whether it's special teams is doing a great job. I want to say Waitman, the backup punter we had to sign after Cameron Johnston went down, has been balling for sure. The special teams was underrated on Sunday. And our special teams unit in the past couple of years has been awesome. 9 blocks total, whether it be field goals, extra points. And that shit matters. That shit absolutely matters, man. Those plays are massive, just momentum killers. And it was awesome just to see, like, we're not fucking around, man. This was a complete team win. Defense only had 1 sack, but they had some timely pressures on third down, especially with Highsmith being single teamed and TJ being triple teamed that time. I mean, the dude was probably chipped Sunday night. I want to say at least 90+% of the time he was chipped by tight end, slid the protection his way. He even had running backs helping in pass protection on his side. So it's like, I'm not worried about TJ. He's gonna pick up his game. But when you have 2-3 guys coming at you, what are you gonna do? You know, he'll fucking. I'm not worried about TJ. You know, they want to do that and they want to leave Cameron Hayward, Highsmith one-on-one. Okay, that's fine. You can't block all of them. So I want to say that. I also thought Peyton Wilson did really well. Considering he played 50% of the snaps, he led the team in tackles. I thought he's shown some really good range this year with his speed, sideline to sideline speed. Pass coverage, it takes rookies a while to kind of adjust to that, so I'm not too worried about that. But overall, man, defense played great. Shutting out the Jets second half again. Not long, really, any big-time plays or points. That helps big-time. Offense really was able to control the second half, pick up some big third downs. And for Russ's first debut, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, a touchdown to Pickens, a touchdown to Van Jefferson, a rushing touchdown at the 1. Awesome to see Najee on 4th and 2 at the 20-yard line, finishing the game off with a tutty. Running in the stands, man. I really wanted to be at that game, but I couldn't get work off Monday. But I really wanted to be there, man, to see A-Rod and the Steelers go at it. That was a great time, and a great win. And injury-wise, outside of Dante Jackson, I don't think we suffered any other injuries that I can think of. Yeah, nobody else suffered really any injuries. And just a complete team win. Special teams balled out. Offense, 37 points. Defense teed up the offense, as Mike Tomlin would say, putting the offense in a good position at the 1-yard line, finished that drive off. And, you know, it was the 2-4 Jets team, but we were underdogs at home. I said we win the game. We won the game. Sitting at 5-2, looking good, man, looking good. We have one more game until our bye week. As far as the rest of our division goes, the Bengals beat the Browns in what was a very close game. Deshaun Watson, unfortunately, got hurt. And I don't really want to say this, but I said before the season, I think at some point Jameis Winston's going to be thrown in there. Whether it be injury, poor play, but Deshaun Watson is out for the season. I don't like to see that, but the guy off the field, not a fan of. The Ravens. So the Bengals moved to 3-4. The Browns 1-6. They're pretty much done. They've been done, but they're out. They're out completely. They're just looking to play whatever. It don't matter. Mistake by the lake. And then the Ravens, Monday Night Football, man, they balled out against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 41-31. And honestly, they kicked the shit out of the Buccaneers. Though I would have liked to see how that game would have finished had Mike Evans not gotten hurt on the second drive of the game for them. Mike Evans catches a touchdown that first drive. And unfortunately, on that second drive, he should have had another touchdown. Burnt that CB pretty bad, but suffered a hamstring injury. He's probably going to be out for a month. So the Ravens just... After Mike Evans dropped that touchdown, the Ravens really took it to the Buccaneers, and they were up like 34-10 at one point. So the Buccaneers come back in garbage time, get an onside kick. I don't really count that, but the Ravens, they definitely look pretty good. And now they're 5-2 as well, so we're both tied for first place in the AFC North. And, we'll see them November 17th in about less than a month. We'll see. I'm really looking forward to that game. I always like playing Lamar Jackson. We own that motherfucker. 1-7 in the past 8 matchups. But we'll get there when we get there. But that's the update. As it sits today, we are the 5th seed in the AFC. 5-2, good record. Only one NFC loss at home. One AFC loss on the road. And we'll preview the Monday Night Football game against the Giants. I'll probably do a podcast Saturday. That way I can see really what's going on with the injuries and such. But nonetheless, kudos to Mike Tomlin for making this move. He pretty much, it was evident all along Russ was QB1. And There's nothing wrong with having two good quarterbacks. They both have their pros and cons. Russ needed a quarter and a half to warm up. It is what it is. He played solid. The team played good. I thought Ryan McCollum did fill it in for Frazier pretty well against Quentin Williams as well. Broderick Jones allowed a sack. He's had some bad reps, that's for sure, but I really like the way the interior of this offensive line looks, led by Isaac Seumalo, Frazier / McCollum, and then rookie McCormick. Mason McCormick has honestly been balling for a rookie. Love to see that. And Dan Moore, respect to him. Usually the past couple of years he's been not good, but he's really stepped up his game, whether it's a contract year or if he's finally developed a solid game. I'm not complaining. It's good to at least have one left tackle or one good tackle at this point in time, but safe to say I wish we had Troy Fautanu at right tackle because then we could really start cooking. But nonetheless, this offense cooked, Russ cooked, and, Pickens saved them on some plays, but it is what it is, man. It's his first game back, and we'll take a win 37-15 any day of the week. But nonetheless, that's the recap, Dub. Hope you all enjoyed this podcast. Share the podcast, give the podcast some love. Blitzburg Coverage Podcast. # here we go. Share it, love it. Let y'all friends know. Let the guy behind you know. This is the #1 podcast in the world. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. And have a good Wednesday. Be safe. And, yeah, man. Really, really good Sunday night game. Really good to bounce back after that Dallas game. So, we'll take it, man. Back-to-back weeks with wins. And 5-2, sitting pretty, man. Good spot for sure. Love to see it. You have a good one. Peace.